Hello, and welcome to today's episode of Pros and Politics Podcast, where we are polished and poised for greatness and impact. My name is Kahala, and I'm your host. Well, political pearls and gents, can you believe it? I know I can't. It is the end of season 6. That's right. We have continued to thrive and continue to produce wonderful content, I believe wonderful content for women of color and communities of color all over the world. And we have come to the conclusion of season 6, the finale. And our very special guest for today is none other than a dear friend of mine and a mentor to many, and a man of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated and East St. Louis in Darron Suggs.
How you doing?
Hey, Suggs, because it ain't there, it's Suggs. It's for everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm blessed. I'm blessed.
You are blessed.
I'm glad to be here in your presence. I just want to thank you for the invitation.
Absolutely.
Because, hey, I just sometimes want to be like, when she going to call me?
I get that a lot. I'm like, you know what? It's only once a week for now. And I'm like, there are just so many wonderful people in our community and just even outside our community to come on. But like I said, having you come on, especially after having your pole mark come on, it was just a no-brainer once again, as all of my guests are no-brainers because we love supporting. And we love mentorship here.
Yes.
And we love the men. We love mentoring young ladies, but, we really get down for the mentorship of young black men.
Yes.
And so I had to bring you on.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
We don't even have to talk about whether or not you Greek, because obviously this man is a man of Kappa Alpha Psi. But I'm going to still let you say it. I'm going to let you say it. I'm going to let you get your chapter. Shout out. Go ahead.
East St. Louis Alumni chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity. We've known, we branded, and we're here to serve.
Hey. So we were talking a little bit before we started airing about how we know each other.
You and I met over a close friend of ours, the Franklin family, the James and Linda Franklin, are my godparents. And we managed to come home. I managed to come home during my college break to start training. And of course, James is a mentor of mine, and he wanted to make sure that I was ready for the next level. Okay. And it was so intense. The young men that's in the household managed to follow my lead. So I managed to impact their lives as well about training and sharing back my stories in college. And that's what it didn't start there, but it was part of it. And just be mentored and for me to mentor some others as well to get them ready for the next level. And
that's exactly where we met. I love Mr. and Mrs. Franklin. That's who they are to me. And I've known them many years now, and they were always so supportive. So whether it was fundraisers, out at the park, or whether it's, them putting my sign in their yard, like they just have always been right there for me, them and their entire family. So and it's been
30 years now. Wow.
It's been a really long time.
And the main thing is to of course, when I came home, I always go to the various schools at the time. East St. Louis Senior High School, where I graduated from, as well as East St. Louis Lincoln. Both sides of the city we had. Both sides of the city we
gonna love you anyway, even though you didn't go to Lincoln. But go ahead.
Both sides of the spectrum of the city, we managed to bridge the collaboration with one another. Again, I had friends on one side of town when they supported me, and I supported them as well. So it's no love lost. We all come together as bragging rights.
That's right.
Once we were facing each other, it was bragging rights. And then when they managed to go against someone else, we supported each other and we showed love for one another, because at the end of the day, it's all about that bond we have between both schools. So,
that's right. Those 89 blocks. That's right. Yes. So let's talk about why we're here today. Okay. The Guide Right program is part of the national thread or the international thread of Kappa Alpha Psi. But the East St. Louis chapter is just on another level. So we want you to talk all about the Guide Right program in general, and then tell us about your wonderful Guide Right program with the East St. Louis Alumni chapter.
Let me tell you, when I first got started with the fraternity, I managed to follow several leaders who was over the Guy Ray program, such as our own 57th District Illinois State Senator, Chris Belt. He was over the Guy Ray program when I first came to the fraternity.
That's my buddy.
Yes, and then as well as we had several like Corey May, who was over as well. And then I managed to take over once my ship, which is Dr. LaLon Singleton, asked me to
ship.
yeah, he asked me to come and be the point man. And that started in 2016. And I managed to run it ever since.
8 years.
To make sure that our young men, they're impacted. They are exposed. They are given the same opportunity that I received. Mm-hmm. And I go by several things I go by. You know, of course, we all know the English language. And I go by the noun and the verb. And I feel that by exposing them to person, places, or things, mm-hmm. and my job is to give them the action. So okay. I want to make sure that I put an individual in front of them. I take them places so they can be exposed, and also give them things as well. Because why? It's all about trying to make sure, not trying, it's all about what we need to do to make sure that the next generation have the same opportunity that we have as well. Mm-hmm. Exposure and impact, and hopefully that we can impact their lives as well.
So how does a young man get involved with the Guy Ray program? Is there invitational? Like, how does that work?
Both by invitational, by putting the word out to the community, because not only we're not only serving just East St. Louis, we're serving several surrounding communities as well. We had individuals come from St. Charles, Missouri, from Edwardsville to bring their young
to be part of your Guy Ray program.
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
Okay, let's be clear.
Because mind you, I am the 2-time North Central Province Guy Ray Director of the Year.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. To be a part of your Guy Ray program. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And again, I'm here to share. I'm not here to tell anyone you can't come. I'm here to extend invitations to everyone, because mm-hmm. again, if I have the tools and the knowledge to make sure that the young man can get what they need, they are invited. Because at the end of the day, I feel that no one is going to outwork me, and that just
you
me.
are a very hard worker. So like that is. Yeah. It's clear.
Yeah.
You've always been a very hard worker. So whether it was on the football field, whether it was, academically, whether it was, coming home, graduating, and then continuing your education, because it didn't end with Jackson State.
No.
Or like you said, mentoring people, and we'll get into the other mentoring opportunities that you provide outside of Guy Ray. So you are a very hard worker individually and in your community, which is why you had to come on and people had to hear from you who you are and what you do.
Let me tell you what else. Where else have we worked together before? I was employed with St. Clair County, probation court service at the Juvenile Detention Center.
Yes.
And we saw the revolving doors. Mm-hmm. And it was no one to receive those individuals. There was no services at the time. So, of course, the men that's in my circle, we managed to make sure that we not only have a starting point, but make sure we have a finishing point as well. Because again, the work that we do in the community, the testimonies are given from the individuals that we serve. Mm-hmm. And the Guy Ray program that managed to give a extra, because not only the circle bond that we have with other fraternities and sororities, but also the community as well. Because it's three folds of this. It's three folds of this. It's fraternity, sorority, community, and all other organizations that we serve as well, to make sure that our service is being rendered. Our service is being accepted. Our service is being appreciated. So those individuals that we serve in our community, the young men are the ones that we're trying to reach out to, as well as the young ladies. Mm-hmm. I don't want to take anything away from our young ladies.
Absolutely.
Because I feel that if I can give them the tools that they need to be able to identify and to have the knowledge of ability to be able to understand who's trying to give them game, who's not trying to give them game, but to let them know that you are beautiful. Mm-hmm. That's why the underlying factor is beautiful. You are beautiful young ladies. You're not fine, you're not pretty, not cute, you're beautiful. Mm-hmm. So we go back to full circle with the Guy Ray program. We try to teach our young men to acknowledge, to appreciate,
and
to
be respectful.
Yes. Because again, the majority of our young men are being raised by single parent household. Mm-hmm. I have to make the reflection that I am coming from a single parent household as well. It's 6 of us was in the household, 5 boys and 1 girl. I'm the youngest of the bunch, and to give the first mentor her flowers is my mother, to make sure that she is appreciated, make sure that she understands that, hey, raising 5 boys and one girl in the late 70s and the 80s, the era of time, it was difficult. But she was a mother that was stern and firm and understanding that I'm not going to lose my young men to the streets. And they would do and set the goal that I put out for them. That is to make sure that they are respectful young men in the community. They are respectful in the school district. They all graduate from high school. They go on to pursue their dreams that they want to pursue. And her friends come back, and I always tell her, you have some respectful young men. They are very respectful. And I said, do you realize her being in a household with 5 boys and one girl?
I can't imagine being in a household with 6 children. Let's be clear. And then 5 boys, because I was a boy mom forever, right? Anthony's 15, Cinco is 9, and Caitlin brought up that, speaking of track and who you brought along in track, we was talking, Caitlin brought that ankle leg up, but late in life, right? So I can only, 5 boys?
Yes, 5 boys, yes.
And a girl, and you got your girl, but I'm just like, I can't imagine. So for her to be able to stand 10 toes down and mentor, love, educate, feed, clothe 6 children alone.
Yeah, and guess what? Guess what the competition came from?
Your mother need to be.
Yeah, let me tell you where the competition
Nobel
came
Peace
from.
Prize.
Half of us went to Lincoln, half of us went to East Side. So just imagine.
A house divided cannot stand.
But you know what? The competitive part was she was a referee in between because she's a Lincoln graduate. And
I love your mama. Look at that.
And the main thing is she watches be competitive, to come to the football game, come to the track meets, and realize, hey, I got to wear 2 shirts. I got to wear this Lincoln shirt and East St. Louis high school shirt.
Split it down the middle.
Yeah.
Okay.
And,
all right, mama.
And at the end of the day, once we come on in fellowship and once we eat dinner, that's during the holidays, we all bragging about each other. High school, we all brag about each other. We all supported one another, and understanding that no one is going to come in and divide or talk about us.
That's right.
We can have competition with us, but no one else can come in our household and talk about us. And that's what the foundation started by mentoring, by watching her. Not fight, but to get our minds right, to make sure that we was poised, we was understanding about our community, and to communicate with one another. Even though that those type of era times, it was rough, but we wasn't going that direction because she was a fighting mom. She was a fighting individual, fighting woman, to understand that I'm raising young men, and all the individuals that come in their lives. I want to make sure that you understand they have a strong mother, so they would not be disrespectful. So that came along with other mentors throughout our elementary school year, junior high school year, and high school year. That resonate graduating, going to college to our next level of life. So, and again, all her sons are married. I've been married to my wife for 26 years.
That's wonderful.
And she's mentoring me every day. Yeah, so and
get him right.
Yeah, she's mentoring me every day because I've loved this woman over 26 years, and we've been friends ever since 1987. We started at 13, and now we are.
That's sweet.
We are 26 years in marriage, and every day it get better and better. And she's mentoring me, and sometimes she has to pull me back, because I'm always going 6-7 days a week. And I said I got to make sure
you on 10 always. So yeah.
And changing the lives is what I'm doing. Having 2 boys and a girl in the household, trying to make sure that they don't go left, but stay in the center, so I can be able to lead down the path. I tell the individual all the time, going left, don't go too far left, but I can move you back in the center so you can be successful. So I can expose you, I can impact your lives. And my kids are raised in a 2-parent household. And now my grandchildren, which are part of my life, and I will fight tooth and nail.
You said they call you what?
Big Daddy.
Big Daddy.
I'm Big Daddy to my 2 grandsons, Zayden and Evan. And they always like to have on the colors, and I tell them, you can't wear that color yet, but you are a grandson of mine. So of course you can.
Future legacy. Future legacy.
Yeah.
But I think that's really important to say, because you are very passionate about it. And even sitting here with you, and that's one of the things that I just love about this platform is I sit people in that seat, and the energy just comes off, and I get to receive that energy because you've always been very passionate from the time, like what I graduated in 95, so I met you before even that, and you've always been a very vibrant, very energetic, you've never met a stranger. Like you are very extroverted, and I think that bodes well for who you are in your capacity as the award-winning director of your Guide Right program, because the children can see that. When you don't really want to be bothered and you're just kind of here and going through the motions, children can feel that and see that. They are very discerning. And so to have somebody that comes alongside your pole mark and all the other men of the East St. Louis Alumni chapter that participate and come alongside you in your programming, that says a lot. They're going to be more receptive. They're going to remember what you said. When they're in a compromising situation or circumstance, they're going to remember what Brother Suggs said, what Mr. Suggs said, because he cares. And I can tell he cares by the way he cares about me. And mentoring for me is so important. And like you said, even as a grown man about to celebrate your 50th birthday soon, I told his business, y'all. Like you're saying, even now you're being mentored. And to be able to understand that, I was speaking to a group of ladies the other day, and they were like, well, do you think that there's like something that you can improve on? I said, well, one thing that's always stuck with me is somebody said the biggest room in the world is the room for improvement. And so that stuck with me. So I am able to turn a mirror. I am able to be accountable. Like accountability is my thing. And so for these young men to be able to say, we have somebody that we're accountable to. Because if I get arrested or if I get in trouble with my girlfriend or I'm doing something I shouldn't be doing, because I'm a part of this Guide Right program, Mr. Suggs gonna be like, what did I hear? Your mama texted me and said, what? And again, they may be in a single family household where they don't have that male figure to kind of pull their collar and be like, you don't talk to your mama like that. What, you missed like 5 straight days of school? To be able to guide them right is critical. And that's what I love about the program on the international platform with your organization. And then I love to see it locally because we're in a fight for our children. And I don't think people truly understand what a fight we're in. I have a 15-year-old, a 9-year-old, and a 5-year-old. And I told somebody the other day, when I gave birth to Anthony, 15, he'll be 6, he'll be driving.
Wow.
He'll be driving. It's not the same world. Even 16 years ago. And so I'm thinking, well, Cinco and Caitlin, what are you gonna come up against when you're 15, like your brother? So we are in a fight for our lives because we're in a fight for our children's lives. And so that's why programs like yours are so critical and mentoring the young men, because a lot of people might not like it. What do we say? We are not negating the young ladies. I mentor young ladies, young and old, right? Women my age and young lawyers and all types of people. But it seems to be a theme right now about my daddy. You know, there's it means something for the men in our community to be upstanding, hardworking, and accountable. And anybody who doesn't then keep scrolling or don't unfollow, whatever, it means something for our Black men in our homes, in our communities, and inevitably in our society to be upstanding and accountable. You are training them now, so then that way they can be accountable and have integrity later.
Training for leadership, and that's the thing about it is, a young man who my mentoring don't just start. It's not just only on certain days. Our phones rings all the time, and the kids are in crisis. We try to make sure that that I am available. If I can't be available by phone call, someone else will be available. But I inform the parents, you have to see it through the hourglass through our young men and our young women. This era of time, you have to just see it and just be patient and just do not forget the foundation of what you was raised up on, and making sure that our young people can get the information that they need so they can be successful. So that's why I try to make sure I'm available for the school districts, for the community, for individual parents, to make sure that I give my all, 1%. When I go home, and even time, and I sit in my chair, and my wife talking to me, and she get mad when I doze off.
I was gonna say you start nodding. I knew where you was going. What? Wait a minute.
Yeah,
that was me in the hairdresser's chair yesterday. Wait, what'd you say, girl? Yeah.
And that's why I try to make sure. Okay, now I'm giving 1% to the community. Now I got to scale back and say, now my wife is telling me
she needs.
Yeah. So, but she understands, because at the end of the day, I'm saving and I'm serving, but I have to pull back from the saving part. Let me serve and let God save. And because again, I want to make sure I give all myself to these individuals, as well as for our Gabriel program, other program that I'm creating and developing. If you notice, back in a few years back, and I invited you out to the school just to
it was fun.
Yeah, and let me tell you who birthed that name, the Women of Virtues, Jocelyn Sandiford.
That's my girl.
Yeah. She we was talking on the phone. She said, "Well, why don't you do a Women of Virtue?" I said, "Oh, good. That's a good topic." Name. And when we put that together, that's when we started inviting everybody out. Because again, we got to meet the kids where they are.
Absolutely.
And the school system is what a strong foundation is where they are. So guess what? We have to make sure we bring these individuals to them so they can see it. The judges, the lawyers, the doctors, the educators, you name it. Because once we expose them, then their mindset start changing. Say, "Oh yes, I can be this person too."
Absolutely, I can do anything. If she can do it,
that's right.
I can do it.
And I remember one segment when you came out to the East St. Louis Senior High School, and you was walking, you was talking to the young ladies, and it was one time they saw your shoes.
Yeah.
They say you see your shoes, and I said, okay, now that piece of attachment and connection, and after it was over, they came up to you and talked to you. We try to get that platform, even though it was only for 2 hours. But when it was all over with, when they came up to you all, even though I know that you couldn't write down everybody's number and name, and as well as try to mentor all of them, but the school district is allowing, they have a partnership with us. So they're allowing individuals to come in and to mentor these young people, and as well as to start a chat and shoot. I informed the community, the individual, give us 1 hour a week, which is 4 hours a month. Because I started the Tuesday tie day in the school district.
Okay.
And the Tuesday tie day at Lincoln Middle School, and the Thursday tie day at Clark Middle School.
Okay.
And I mind you, I'm in the school district. Mind you, that's 8 hours a month. Wow. And on top of the Guy program, on top of the family time I have.
Exactly.
So I try my best to try to, not to stretch myself too thin, but to also give that 1% to these individuals that need my service.
And you will be blessed because of it. You already are, and you will continue to be blessed. God sees you, and he sees what you're doing.
Yes.
So he is going to give you the mental, emotional, psychological, and physical wherewithal to be able to continue to do those things, because you are assisting him in the earthly realm. And so what do we talk about? We gonna eat better, and we gonna drink better, and we gonna exercise. We're going to do those things, but he tells us, it's that still small voice that was like, Suggs, you need to start juicing. Because remember, I told you 2 years ago that was me.
Yeah.
And so it's a little still small voice that's like, you need to get on that treadmill tonight, because you have to run your race with endurance.
Yes.
And so we have to do better because we have people that need us. Like when my mental health started failing, and I'm all about transparency on my platform. When my mental health started failing, then my physical health started failing. I was like, okay, enough.
Yeah.
I said, because my mama needs me. Corey Hill needs me, okay? Yeah. I'm like, my kids need me. Yeah. So if I'm going to continue to be who I need to be for the people who need me, I've got to do better for myself.
Yeah.
And I thoroughly enjoyed all those opportunities coming and speaking, and anytime you need me, you know that I'll always be there. But what I can say about that incident with the shoes, I will never forget the joy I had in 2016 when I was the keynote speaker for Eastside's graduation.
Yes.
when I tell you, you would have thought that I was speaking at the White House, because to me,
Yes.
I was speaking at the White House.
Yes.
Everybody lives life wanting the key to the city or to come back and speak at their high school's graduation. And anytime that I speak to the kids, I was asked to come back and speak at the last 2021, the ribbon pinning before graduation. And I wore this super jazzy suit and got my hair layered and my lips was popping, because I'm gonna meet you where you at.
That's right. That's right.
In 2021, 22, 20, these girls like lip gloss and they like, and so you gonna catch the lip gloss, but you gonna catch the words that are coming out of my mouth, because you paying such close attention to my lip gloss.
That's right.
And so I want to be the person that these young ladies can look up to.
That's right.
And say, oh, I can be a lawyer. I can be a mom. I can be a wife. I can do all these things and still be cute, still do whatever. And you know what? She probably don't do stuff like that. Like when I'm ready to skip school or do something under the bleachers that I should, well, you know what? That lady with them shoes on, that's not what she told us to do. She told us that we need to be ladylike and upstanding and hitting them books and getting ready to go off to school or you know what I'm saying? And so it's all about the mentorship, and your life is a mentorship.
Right.
There have been so many, especially as a politician, I'm telling you, and a politician from East St. Louis, and the first Black person to do the job, and the first woman, microscope, magnifying glass. It was so much stuff I wanted to say and do, and I'm like, nah.
Yeah. But
let me not do that. Your life is a ministry.
That's right.
So,
and once you tell the story, and once you come back and impact these individual lives, as well as exposing them to what you do and who you are, the profession, the family that you have, the husband that you have, you can say you can have those things as well. Because when I first started the mentoring group, co-founded the Difference Makers back in 2003. Myself and Christopher Bell and Anthony Bird and Corey May and Harvey Taylor, Torian Connors, Marvis.
Harvey, that's my dude.
So it was a bundle of us trying to bring a element of mentoring to the area. It was never happened before. But when we found out, during that time, I was so being stuck on Difference Makers, and then realized other fraternities was doing the same thing. We managed to have that stretch for 6 years, and we had a strong abundance of places that we was going to, was exposing the kids. So we had a large amount of young men. The mother was bringing those kids to us at abundance of large numbers.
Yeah.
And then once I became a Kappa man,
it was over.
Oh man.
Was it over?
I said, but after seeing these young men, again, being mentored by these individuals, I'm being mentored by these individuals, and the kids, vice versa. I inform them all the time. You are mentoring me, because why? You're from this era of time that I need to learn what the music is. I need to learn what the lingo is. I need to learn what the words that you're using.
I know the acronyms and all that.
Yeah. But guess what? We as individuals, once we start listening as adults, you say, okay, these kids are telling me something that I need to have a catch phrase, because, like you said, your son's 15.
Yeah.
I need to pay attention, because he's with his peers the majority of the time. He's with you less. With them, he's with them more.
Exactly.
And you said, now I want to know how much influence that those kids have on them.
Exactly.
That's why I tell parents all the time, you need to please have a conversation with your child at dinner time. Please have a conversation with your child when he hit that
every
door.
Day.
Conversation every day. Why? Because once you keep the communication and conversation going, he's going to be less likely to be influenced by the wrong person. And
more likely to have a conversation with you. Yes. If I never asked you how your day was, or if anything happened at school today that I need to know about, or, well, great job, I saw, I got the notification you got an A on that test.
Yes.
If I'm never engaging you, when something comes up, you can be like, oh, well, she don't care, or I'm not engaged anyway. So you don't become an award-winning program and director of the year for nothing. Right. So as we get ready to close, tell us, okay, so we've already said we can just come, bring the children, and then there are periods within the year, right, that you all do intake for that. So what do you do for them? Like, because of course we know in frets and sororities, you win awards based on programming.
Right.
So what is the programming that you all do with your Guide Right teams? Okay. So we know what we're getting into.
We meet, our program, we meet second and fourth Sunday every month from 2 to 4. The applicants are from the age of 10 to 19. That's fifth grade all the way up to seniors in high school. We meet at 5101 Lake Drive.
Beautiful Kappa House.
Yes,
I mean, I walked in there, I was like, what in the... And
if you notice what's on the wall, all our history and artifacts. So once the individuals come in, as our young men come in and see all of the history from the first black mayor of East St. Louis, the mayor, former mayor of East St. Louis, and the funeral directors and educators, you name it.
No,
those type of
impressive.
things, thank you. Those type of things is what we want to expose them to impact their life. The invitation is we're supposed to meet 9 months out of a year, and I'm supposed to get a break
program
in the summertime.
year. That's right, during the summer.
Right.
We all know, because I look forward to no chapter meeting during the summer.
That's not happening. because I'm always staying in communication with these young men, because at the end of the day, the phone ring.
Things can get crazy in the summer.
It does, but you know what? We managed to have a Kappa House that would invite them in because we do have a computer lab.
You do?
Come in, and we have a gaming system in there. You come in to have a place to fellowship. And if I'm there, come on down, parents, 2 or 3 hours a day. Give me those time frames, and I always give them that time frame to come in, because again, our kids are sitting at home doing nothing.
Exactly.
And I believe in 3 things: connect, community service, and collaboration.
Okay.
So once we connect with folks, once we do our community service in our community, and once we collaborate with other organizations as well as fraternity and sororities, hey, that would also bring all the pieces in to keep them busy throughout the whole summer to get us ready for our upcoming year.
Program year.
Yes. So after meeting, I find myself meeting. We're supposed to meet every second and fourth Sunday.
Right.
Find myself meeting in between. Because again, I feel like I missed something. I feel like they need to go to this event, go to that event, go to this health fair, go to that health fair, go to the basketball game. Because again, if I have these opportunities, I need to bring you.
Absolutely.
Because we have managed to get invited to several events, several places. We was invited to the Paul Simon Institute down at SIUC Carbondale, and by Dr. Linda Baker. Each of our young men was offered a scholarship. And they met the first youngest mayor in the country. That was Jalen Smith. He's 19 years of age down in Arkansas. So just imagine these individuals who are 17, 18 years of age, or 15, 16, 17, 18 years of age.
A 19-year-old mayor.
Yes, mayor, and his name is Jalen Smith. And they managed to talk to this young man. He managed to inform them. I'm a mayor of this smaller city that I'm governing over X amount of millions of dollars at 19. Just imagine.
That's deep.
It was our own Carl officer we thought was the youngest, but this young man is 19 years old. He was elected at 18. So those are the type of exposure we try to get them to be exposed to see and say, you can be that, you can be that. We also managed to bring the black men in white coats from SLU, from St. Louis University,
yes.
the doctors.
I like that program a lot.
Yeah, they came in and they exposed the young people, saying, we need you. We need black men. We need you. We want you to start thinking going to the medical field. Yes. We also have a young man about to get to observe one of our own Kappa brothers, a cardiologist, Dr. Russell McAvey.
I met him.
He's going to.
I want to bring him on the platform at some point.
Okay.
I did.
Yeah.
Your Pomark, Brother McDowell introduced me to him.
One of our Kappa Leagues is going to observe him in the weight room and in the operation room. And told him that he can come because this young man said he want to be a cardiologist, so he invited him to observe in the operating room. I said, "You serious?"
Oh,
and guess what? That's exposure. The impact of life. Yeah.
Yes.
And we also were invited to go to the Capitol at Springfield. So once that day comes, we're going to travel to Springfield. Yes. We're going to travel with the senator and the state repertory Greenwood. So we're going to go all these different places. We went to Indianapolis. We went to Tennessee. We went to Kansas City and Oklahoma. So we went to various places. Why? Because again, we have to expose them. We have to let them see it so they can start thinking about
being it.
Yeah, being it. Yes. So seeing is believing. And that's what we do at Kappa Psi Fraternity to make sure our young men are exposed and we try to impact their lives as well.
And that's what you all do at the Guide Right, the award-winning Guide Right program
yes.
with the award-winning director for the Guide Right program in East St. Louis, Illinois, the city of champions.
I want to say thank you. Why? Because over the years, being impacted by being mentored not only by my peers, by older folks, by my coaches, but as well as those who come up after me, to be mentored, to observe you all at your and why you all in action. Why I observe you while you was at the courthouse. I observe you while you was the circuit clerk. I observe you while you on the state level. Those type of things that are young folks. I thank you. Why? Because you still mentoring me. Because I'm still hungry. I'm still on the hunt to be able to get them exposed to what level you're on. To be able to expose them on the other levels that we have in place. Because I work for a Koki School District. Mm-hmm. I'm part of the Safety Task Officer at Koki School District. I have a mentoring program there as well called the Koki Comanche Care Program, changing attitudes and raising expectation.
Come on.
And make sure we provide them a safe environment for our kids to trust us. So allowing us to bring in different individuals. I took them on college tour. To UAPB, to the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff, to take them to SIUC Carbondale, I took them to U of I, took them over to Harris State University, I took them to SIUE Marshdown, so they can see our own Greeks on the college campus stumping the yard. So now they can say, I have no more excuses. I've seen it. This is the direction I want to go into.
And it's attainable.
Yes, being positive, yes.
Well, thank you for all that you've done.
You're welcome.
All that you're doing and all that you will continue to do.
Yes, yeah.
We appreciate you.
You're welcome.
More than you will ever know. Thank you for changing lives and ultimately saving lives.
Yes.
That's kind of become a theme at the end of this season and the start. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And for finding the time today, because you're busy. And Brother McDowell and the chapter and the community that's just in general. You are the epitome of achievement.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
And so we thank you. Are you going to come back?
Yes.
Okay.
And I hope if it's be so bothered, it won't be bothered for me to bring some of my Kappa Leaguers.
That would be wonderful.
Yes.
I would love that.
Yes.
I would absolutely love for the young men to come back and share their stories.
If I can bring the twins, Michael and Mason Sims.
Okay.
Tiffany Sims is their mom, and Michael Sims is my brother.
You can bring whoever you want,
Yes.
and that would be amazing.
Yeah, before they go off to school, I would like for them to come to give their testimony. Mike and Mason are the president and vice president. Anthony Paulette is the sergeant at arms. I want to bring them on so at least they can give their testimony of how the fraternity impact their lives.
Absolutely,
as well.
that would be great.
Because mind you, we managed to put on several community. We fed the community. It's all about, again, three things: connect, community service, and collaboration. Yes.
Okay. Well, that would be great, and I can't wait.
Yes. Okay.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Thank you.
And thank you for tuning in today to Pros in Politics Podcast, where we are polished and poised for greatness and impact. Thank you for joining us today. Please join us again next week. But in the meantime, please like, love, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.